What's up, guys? Today on All Sports Central, we'll be going over an NFL game preview. This one's going to be over the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. And we've seen some really interesting matchups between these two teams, some very memorable ones over the years. And so it's going to be exciting to be able to see both these teams go head-to-head once again. Last week, for both these teams, Green Bay lost to Philadelphia 34-27 at home. That was a tough loss for them, of course. It was really back and forth for a big chunk of the game, but that Packers team got a lot of injuries there, and so hopefully that doesn't really affect them in this game against Dallas, but it is not out of the question right now. A few key stats for the Packers: Aaron Rodgers was 34 for 53. He had a very heavy workload against the Eagles. 422 yards, 2 touchdowns as well. Overall that was a pretty big game for Aaron Rodgers. Dallas lost to New Orleans 12-10. The Saints only got 12 points on them. That was 4 field goals, by the way, as well. But Dallas, this offense did not look very good on Sunday night against this Saints team. Dak Prescott was 22 for 33, 223 yards, no touchdowns. I believe he also had an interception. But Ezekiel Elliott, of course, he didn't look very good. I think he only had 53 yards on Sunday night as well. You got to use Ezekiel Elliott a little bit more in order for this team to be good. And I think, honestly, for the Packers, if they can shut down Ezekiel Elliott just like the Saints did, this could be an easier game for the Packers. The way that the Saints handled them, they handled this Cowboys offense very, very well. This offense has really clicked over the last couple of weeks, and so to see the Saints shut down Dallas like they did, that was pretty crazy. This game is going to be on the 6th of October, 3:25 Central Time. Spread currently says Dallas by 3.5. FBI saying 60% Dallas, and then also Vegas. This is early Vegas predictions. They're saying 28-26. Dallas also wins this one. So all three of these are saying Dallas in a close one, and I can totally see why. With the Cowboys being at home and stuff, that always helps a lot. And of course they are 3-1 right now too. So this team is looking very good over the last 4 weeks or so. Here's a stat comparison for this one. Points per game for the Packers: 21.3. Points allowed per game: 17.3. Pass yards: 267. Rush yards: 86. So kind of looking at that, they do use their passing game a ton. Of course, you got Devontae Adams, Valdez-Scantling, Geronimo Allison. All three of those guys get used quite a bit. But the thing is that Devontae Adams is a little bit beat up right now. Valdez-Scantling was, and I believe he was out of the game, he ended up going out of the game against Philadelphia last week. But yeah, of course, if those two guys are healthy, the Packers offense is going to look great. Aaron Jones at running back right now, we're seeing 86 yards per game out of them right now. They've got 350 yards allowed per game. So overall, that's not terrible, but it's not great either. Cowboys have 26 points per game right now. Of course, that kind of dropped quite a bit after that game against New Orleans, but yeah, still, this offense is very talented. Points allowed per game: 14. Total pass yards: 285 per game. So Dak Prescott gets a pretty big workload there. Of course, with Ezekiel Elliott, though, you're going to have 145 rush yards per game. And for yards allowed, 338 right now per game. So the Packers and the Cowboys are kind of even there with yards allowed per game. Both teams are 3-1. Both teams do have a loss, and they both came last week. So both teams took their first losses last week. Here's a few key points in this one. Both teams did take losses in Week 4. We just talked about that. How important is this game? Of course, we could totally see this matchup again in the playoffs. The Packers have looked great so far. Except for that game last week. We've seen the Packers really be, a pretty dominant team. They got some great wins over Chicago and Minnesota. And so, that's something to note there. Cowboys, of course, they're looking very good too. If they can finish out this season, we could totally see this game in the playoffs once again. Can the Dallas offense rebound? I think it totally can. If all the players can stay healthy, if that offensive line can stay healthy for Dak Prescott, that would be very helpful. Same for the Packers. This offense is kind of beat up right now, and so they're going to need those guys to be healthy in order to be successful. How do both teams win? If Packers can shut down Ezekiel Elliott, I think that's how the Packers win this one, because they forced Dak Prescott to kind of get out of his comfort zone a little bit and have to use the pass game. Their pass game isn't terrible. They got many weapons: Randall Cobb, Amari Cooper, of course, and there are other wide receivers other than that. But yeah, for sure, I think if the Packers can shut down the offense like New Orleans did, this should lead to a win for the Green Bay Packers, and I think that's what does happen. We're going to see an upset here. Halftime's going to be 7-7 tie, then 24-21 is going to be your final score here. Packers win it by a field goal. I think that Aaron Rodgers drives down the field and they get a field goal at last minute, and that's how they win this one. And so it'll be, of course, a huge win for the Packers, I think. Of course, going into the rest of the season, this Packers team looking very good for sure. And so this is going to be a game to look forward to. I think this is going to be probably your best game of the week. I think we see a low-scoring first half, only 2 touchdowns scored combined. But I think in the second half, things start to pick up the pace a little bit, and we start to see both of these teams go back and forth. But the Packers are going to win it here in the end. Let me know guys' thoughts on this game in the comments below. If you think the Cowboys can win it, I mean, for sure, I think the Cowboys could win this game. And with it being in Dallas, of course, I mean, that's going to be very helpful. Cowboys have a great home field advantage there. Cowboys definitely are a team to watch out for. I think for the Packers, are going to have to play a really good game in order to beat Dallas here on the road. Once again, let me know your guys' score predictions, what you guys think of this game in the comments below. More NFL previews coming your way over the next couple days. Thank you guys all for watching, and stay tuned for more from All Sports Central.